Hello.
Hi, Amina. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hi, Latoya. I think
Hi,
Nicole.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I think Nicole is here. We're going to wait just another minute or two for any stragglers, although I'm sure even once we get started, we'll have some stragglers joining. So I'll let people in as we get going, but we'll wait a minute or two to get started. So if you need to grab a drink or anything, definitely feel free to do that.
So I'm assuming that this group is nationwide?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So all over the place in all different industries, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that's very cool.
Some are remote, some are, in person in their offices, some are hybrid situations as well. So it's a really diverse group, which is cool.
It makes it nice because then I find that oddly, you would think that if everybody was the same, you'd have more to talk about, but I actually find the exact opposite.
Yeah.
The more diverse the group, the more there is to discuss.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they're all dealing with similar challenges and things, but approaching it in different ways because they're different situations. So here's Nicole. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and get us started so we can we have time to hear our fabulous speaker and then of course end on time because I know many of you need to get back to your normal responsibilities, but welcome to the May edition of our Elevated Admin Community. For those of you who I have not met, I'm Eileen Coombs, the Community and Education Lead at Delegate Solutions. So we are a company that provides virtual admin support to entrepreneurs and business leaders, but the part I love the best is we provide learning opportunities and coaching and training to help the admin community grow and help you really find your legs in the role that you in the ways that you support your C-suite executives. So I am thrilled that you all are here. I am looking forward to our speaker today. Just as a reminder, here is kind of how today will work. We're obviously in the welcome section right now, but in a second, I will introduce our guest speaker and turn it over to Sarah to share her words of wisdom. After Sarah is done, we usually go into a short breakout session for you to talk through any issues that you may be really struggling with and just want some other perspectives with. That others can bring to the table because of their experience. So we'll spend a few minutes doing that. We'll come back and share any sort of ahas from there, and then we'll conclude and get ready for our June session. So without further ado, I am super thrilled to have Sarah Phillips here. She's with Superior Performance Coaching, and today she's going to be speaking about communication, the missing link between okay and fantastic. And if you're like me, I can always use those pointers on communication. So I'm excited about today's topic. Sarah is a powerhouse business coach with over 20 years of successful coaching under her belt. Her keenly developed understanding of business combined with her knowledge of communication styles has created a highly successful career in multiple industries. And as a professionally trained educator, she is able to take challenges and break them into small bites to deliver coaching that empowers her clients to lead confidently so that they are able to grow their business and their dreams. So I am super excited to have Sarah here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Sarah, so you can take over. And I hope everyone will give Sarah a warm welcome and give her your undivided attention. There you go, Sarah.
Beautiful.
Is yours.
Thank you so much. What a great introduction. Thank you. I'll pay you later, Eileen. I am super excited to be with you guys today. I love what this group does because I am such a cheerleader for assistants and virtual assistants. Everybody looks at the person in front and thinks that they're the superstar. And I know because I've walked in those shoes. The ones in front aren't the superstars. It's you guys in the back that hold all the strings together that really create the magic for people. So kudos to all of you for what you do. And I'm just happy to be here and celebrate what you do and support you in that process a little bit further. So now I'm going to share my screen, and the first thing that you're going to see on here is why they buy. And you're going to say, well, I thought we were here to talk about communication, Sarah. Well, we are. This is not talking about why we buy material goods and services. We're talking about why they buy what you're saying. How do we get people to buy into ideas and understand another human being so that they get the message? Because have you ever spent like, I don't know, 15 minutes explaining something and you look out and you see that nobody got anything, and I don't think there's anything that's much more frustrating than that. So what we're going to talk about today is a system that was developed so that we're going to talk about the secrets of why people do what they do, why they think what they think, the science behind all that, the system that solves the problem, and the solution that can help us move to the next chunk in the road. So now let's see if I can get it to move or not. Let's see. Are you actually going to move for me? No, you're not. Okay. All right. Well, let me see if I can figure out why you're not moving for me. Okay. Well, we'll go talk with you just a quick second about who we are. I hope you don't mind me doing it this way. It seems to be the only way it wants to work today. So it is what it is. Team Excellence, we are a group of certified bank trainers and coaches. We are leaders of leaders. We love to deal with people just like you and help you take your business to the next level. We are conscious contributors, and we want to help you to scale your business so that you're heard and understood better. And there's industry experts on our team from all kinds of real estate, business coaches, you name it, they're there. So how do we unlock the secret to ultra high performance? Well, it starts with understanding who it is that we're speaking to. Okay. Now, some of you probably know who this guy is, Robert Kiyosaki. He says the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. And I totally agree with you, but I would submit to you that this goes another step in the process. The ability to communicate is the #1 skill in business, because without being able to communicate, you're not going to be able to sell. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? Everybody on the same page with me? All right. So I want to talk with you a little bit about what happens when we communicate. And the best way that I know to share that is to start looking at sales numbers, because that's where our communication becomes super obvious. All right. So this comes from Salesforce.com. It's not something that I came up with. And what they have learned is that 67% of all salespeople miss their quota. That is that is 2/3 of every salesman out there. And 87% say that they don't feel adequately prepared to go into a sales meeting. Well, guess what? We're the same way. When you're an assistant, you have to be prepared to go into that meeting. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish. And so I would say that this is probably a good reflection of how some of you are feeling, like, oh my God, I wish I was better prepared for this. And this one blew my mind. 66% of all people say they are turned off by what somebody says to them. That's kind of a scary statistic, because we're trying to get them turned on and excited by what we do, and we're actually turning them off. So why does that happen? Well, it comes back to personality science. Okay. This is something, it's not new. What we're showing you here is not new at all. Hippocrates started using this over 400 years ago when he started looking at the 4 humors and how people are different. There are 9 million different personality tests out there. What color are you? What animal are you? Whatever, DISC, Briggs-Myers, they're all out there. What I'm going to show you, however, is quite a bit different than that. And here's why it's different. It's exactly I always tell people this is exactly the same as them, only completely different. And that is because when I take a personality test, the person that I'm trying to figure out is me. When I work with somebody with this test, this is specifically to help me to understand you. So when you're sitting there talking to your client, you don't need to understand yourself. You already understand yourself, don't you? I mean, probably, I would hope better than anybody in the world. But the person you need to understand is the one sitting across from you. So that's what this system was actually designed to do. So I want to show you something that we found out, that there are distinct types, and I'm going to walk with you very quickly through all of these so you kind of begin to put the picture together in your mind of who they are. There's blueprints, there are actions, there are nurturing, and there are knowledge. You'll see this is where we get the word bank from, B-A-N-K. Okay. And each of us has our own operating style. We have values that we make decisions based on. And whatever our value system is, it makes sense that we are trying to portray that to other people, because we assume if that's what we want to know, well, it must be what they want to know, right? Well, look at what we found out. Only 1 out of 4 are you delivering the right message. Now, if you look back at this, 3 out of 4 times you're delivering the wrong message. Does that make a little bit more sense now? Yeah, it's because we're speaking to them in our value system without understanding theirs. So I want to help you to understand a little bit today about what those value systems are and what they do. And here's what's going to happen. Okay. And again, this is talking about sales, but we're talking about communication here. What we are looking at is, obviously, the most powerful thing you can do is to connect to your client. Okay. They need to know that you get them. So let's say that I walk into a room and there's 4 groups of people in there. One speaks English, one speaks Spanish, one speaks French, and one speaks Korean. And I only speak English. What percentage of the people have any chance of getting what I'm saying? About a quarter of them, right? But if I can speak English and Spanish, I've now increased 100% of who I can communicate. If I can speak French as well, I've increased up to 200%. And if I can speak all 4 languages, now I have the ability to land messages with all 4 groups of people. So that's what I want to show you how to do today, is how to land those messages with all of them. So the best way I know to explain this so that it really, does everybody know what this is? This is called a cryptex. It was made famous by the Da Vinci Code. Okay. And the premise was there was these secrets to the universe inside this little tube. And if they put the right code on the outside, it opened it up and the secrets of the Bible are revealed, right? But if they put the wrong code in, there's a vial of vinegar inside. It cracks the vial open, lets the vinegar out, and destroys the secrets forever. I kind of look at human beings like a cryptex. Inside of us, we have these great, massive secrets that we can share with the world. And we'll be happy to share with you. But you got to get our code right. It's like a PIN code at the back. You know, there's 4 numbers in there. If you put them in the wrong order, you're not getting any money out. But if you put those in the right order, everything is released to you. So I want to talk with you about how do you release, not only so that they understand you, but so that you can understand them. Sound good? Beautiful. All right. So first, I want to talk with you about the blueprint. Now, the blueprints are, and the best analogies I know to do have to do with the box. Okay. Blueprints, first of all, they're those people that when you approach them, they're going to seem a little cooler. Okay. They're not going to engage as quickly. They're going to be wearing a formal suit and tie. They're going to shake hands. They're always going to be early. And by the way, if you're meeting with a blueprint, the very worst thing you could possibly ever do to a blueprint is show up late. Okay, so if you've got somebody with this kind of personality style, make sure you're early. They like to know about systems, processes. They want to know what are going to be the next 4 or 5 steps that we're going to do. What is this going to look like? And they hate risk. Anything that you can do to alleviate risk in their life, you become the superhero. So the blueprints are, you know, they're very traditional. They believe in duties and responsibilities and things of that nature. Right. So, and I'm sure that some of you have probably got in your head right now, at least one client that you have that this fits them. Right. So, okay. So now, you know, there are some better ways. If you talk to them, if you go in talking to them about the wrong things, that's when you get that message mixed up. And we're going to talk about how to put all this together at the end. The next group we're going to talk about is the actions. Oh, by the way, my box analogy, blueprints love to stay in the box. Remember, I told you they don't like risk. Okay. They like very structured environments. They want to know where the boundaries are. And if you are telling a blueprint to think outside the box, you're just wasting your breath. We don't know how. Okay. My code, as you can see, is right here in my thing. I am actually a BANK, which is really weird that mine are in order, because you are going to see qualities of this, and everybody has all 4 qualities in there. It's just the predominance of them. I am a bit, don't tell me to think outside the box. I don't know how. You don't do that. You don't color outside the lines when you're with a blueprint. Okay. Now the next group is the action. Okay. Now, as far as my box analogy with an action, they have no idea what you're talking about when you say a box. They blew the box up 3 days ago. There's confetti all over the place. You usually hear these people before you see them. They talk 150 miles an hour. They're always go, 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 full of action. They look like they have had 57 Red Bulls right before they walked in the door. And let's go and get this done. They don't care about details. Don't give me details. Just give me the 20,000 foot view. They make decisions just like that. Okay. They're not going to sit around and wait to make a bunch of decisions. You're not going to have to pour a bunch of information into them. In fact, they don't want more information. If you give them a bunch of information, they're gone. Bye. See ya. They're already tuned out. Okay. Again, I'm sure you've probably got some clients like this. And I'm sure that some of you have done like I used to do before I understood this, and tried to get them to understand the details. Don't bother. They're not going to get it. They don't care. They're just going to say, just do whatever you got to do. Okay. The next group, there are nurturing people. Now, by the way, you see that red, the action is red. That's because they are hot like a firecracker. I mean, they will just explode on you at any given moment with tons of energy. Nurturing, however, is yellow. They are warm like the sun. They have a heart of gold. They are sweet as honey. Those are those people that, oh, when you meet them, they are going to give you a great big hug. Now, I will tell you, they're the only group that is going to greet you with a hug. This is a handshake. This is a high five or a fist bump. Okay. Nurturers, they want the big hug. They want to know about you. They want to know about your family. They want to know about your team. They want to know how they can support you. If you ever are in a contest and you need to win something, call all of your nurturing friends. They will do whatever it takes to help you win. They are those, you know, those people who just want to support other people. They very, very, very ethical, very authentic. If you are not real and authentic, they will read that a million miles away, and you got no chance of having any kind of relationship with them. They want to know that you're real. They also want to know that you care about the community. They're all about team. They're about support. Their box analogy, they're the ones who recycle the box. They're going to get the box. They're going to, take it to the recycle bin. They're going to remake it into something else, probably put some flowers in it, give it to you as a gift. They are all about repurposing. How can we use what's already there? How many of you are already figuring out that these things apply outside of here, like, cars and what they use in their home and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, it applies to everything that we do. But those are your nurturers. They're the ones who are, they're the preschool teachers who just love on your babies and want to snuggle them. And then we have your Ks. Now, Ks are very special people. They are the ones, they are almost always the smartest person in the room. No matter what they say, you can pretty much take it to the bank because they've already researched it for 6 months. They want to know all the details about everything. Any of y'all ever had a client who drove you crazy with 5 million questions? That's going to be your knowledge. And their box analogy is that they're the ones who engineered the box in the first place. Okay. By the way, do not hug these people. Don't give them a high five. Try not to shake their hands. I think the perfect, actually, the perfect greeting for a knowledge would be this: the Vulcan salute. Live long and prosper. Don't touch me. They don't like to be touched. They want research. They want information. They want details. Lots and lots and lots of details. By the way, you cannot get them to make a decision. They have to make the decision on their own. All the other personality types, you can share enough with them and move them along if you need them to make a decision. Not this group. No, they're going to research until they are done researching. And then when they're finished researching, then they will make a decision. So if you have one of these clients that you get to deal with, go in there with all your facts. Take the white paper, take the R&D, take the, if it's a product or service, take the consumer reports. By the way, anything technology is like super, super cool with them. They love technology. Okay. So that's kind of a quick overview of what the 4 different codes are. So how do you use those as an assistant? How do you use those? Well, when you start figuring out what people are, you start understanding, number one, how they best hear what it is that you have to say. If you're taking a new idea to them, you think about, okay, which one of those codes are they? If I'm going to go in and talk to a nurturing about a new idea, I'm going to talk to them about how this is going to support their team, because that's what they hear. But if I'm talking to an action, I'm going to talk to them about how it's going to help them win, because that's what they're all about. They want to win. They're very competitive. They want to have a good time. They want to have fun. So I'm going to go in there and say, hey, this is going to be we're going to have a great time doing it, and you're going to make lots of money, or you're going to get lots of exposure, whatever. Those are very, very influential things, so that instead of being turned off 66% of the time, we now have the capacity to turn them on, because what you're saying makes sense to them, so that your messages will actually land with them so that they can get where they're going. So just some tips in dealing with these types of people. Like I said, with Bs, everything's formal, everything is structured, everything is laid out. If you can give them an outline before you go into every meeting, they are going to be your number one fan, because they get to know what comes next. That's what they love. If you're going into a meeting with an action, have a sheet with bullet points. just like the top 2 or 3 things you're going to talk about. That's what they want. They don't want the detailed outline. Just hit the high notes. If you're going into a meeting with an N, take cookies. Home baked cookies are even better. Okay. Ask them about their family. That is a huge, huge thing. If you ask them about their family, their life, and what they're doing, it's going to make a massive difference to their ability to relate to you as a human being and therefore open up. And with knowledge, like I said, go in there armed to the teeth with every possible piece of information they could possibly ever want. And if you give it to them in advance, all the better, because now they have a chance to go through it, read, and digest. So, this system has the ability to dynamically change all of your business and personal relationships, actually. You know, just to give you a couple of quick stories about me, my brother is a K and I am a B. K, as you can see, is my very last code. I don't care about details. When you give me details, you drive me crazy. Okay. He wants to know everything. So every time I would tell him something, he would start asking me like these 9 million questions. Well, why did you do that? Well, where did you figure that out from? We fought like cats and dogs. I am not kidding you. Like we were like killing each other our whole lives until I learned this system. Because what I heard when he would ask those questions was, he thinks I'm stupid. Why does he think I'm stupid? I'm not an idiot. That's not what he was saying at all. His questions had nothing to do with me. They had everything to do with him. He just needed to know. So now that I understand that that's what's going to happen with him, he can ask me all the questions he wants. It doesn't drive me crazy anymore. He's the same way. I used to drive him crazy because I was always, what's next? What are we doing next? He's like, why do you care what we're doing next? We're on this step. Can we take care of this step first? I'm like, no, I need to know what we're doing next. So just by understanding these codes and who people are, it allows me to relax and say, okay, I get it. That's just their action talking, or that's just their nurture talking. And I don't get personally offended, and it smooths. I've seen marriages saved. As a matter of fact, one of the girls that is on Team Excellence with me, she said she came into this to learn how to sell. She said, and in the first 24 hours that she dug into this system, she saved her marriage. Totally changed her marriage. One of the other girls, Michelle, she said, she's a total action. She said, I couldn't figure out why I drove my kids crazy. She said, I mean, I'm doing all the stuff that you think your kids want to do. She said, we go to the sporting goods store and I'm shooting baskets in the middle of the store. I'm having a great time. My kids are mortified because guess what? They're beats. And that's against the rules. You don't do that. She said, and I literally had almost no relationship with my children until I learned this system. And then all of a sudden, I understood them. I understood that it was not okay with them if I said we're leaving at 1 and I wasn't ready until 1:15. That wasn't okay with them. That was not valuing who they were. So I had to learn to be on time for them so that I could be true to my word with them. And so there's so many keys to this, and how much it can do. It is amazing. So I've got about 4 minutes left, but I want to open this up and see if anybody has any questions or anything of that nature that I can answer for you. Is there anything that anybody thinks, well, gee, I'm not sure how this would work with a particular situation? All right, well, I am going to do something.
Sorry, it looked like maybe Latoya, were you getting ready to unmute?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think regardless of the corresponding alphabet, that genuine interactions with people based upon what works for them usually gets you really good results. I know that in working with the general public and especially with working with managers that have different style of leadership and management styles, that you get to know them, and so you know what works for them, and learning what helps you to have a good relationship with them is essential.
Yeah, 100%. And that's really why this system was designed, was so that you don't have to spend 6 months trying to figure out, or even 6 hours trying to figure out, what is this person's value system. This lets me know. There's a company that I work with that we actually made trading cards for. We went through, we did the profile for everybody in the company. The boss now has a Rolodex, and he has everybody's codes. He knows what's important to him. His profile is on his door of his office, so that when people are walking into him, he happens to be in action. They know not to walk in and give him 9 million details. They know he wants the high points. Let's get it and move on. So yeah, you're 100% right, Latoya. This is taking what you just said to the next level. It is allowing you to decode it quickly, simply, and easily. And I do that simply. There's a test that you can do to figure out what your bank code is. And it's right here. And I'm actually going to, it's normally a $99 quiz, but I am going to share this with y'all free of charge so that everybody can go in, it's a 90-second quiz, literally. You move 4 cards. That's it. But what it's going to do when it's finished is it is going to give you, it's going to send you a profile for yourself so that you can begin understanding more about who you are, so that you can begin seeing those things in other people. And I hope you find some benefit in that. Also, I'm going to also pop in here real quick. Oh, if I can, did I send you my link, Eileen?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I want to offer y'all a complimentary, like 30-minute consultation if you want to talk with me about this, to get some more information on how, how you can best use it. I am like totally open to that. So let me just pull this up.
And Sarah, I know as you're pointing that up, I think Amina has a question. So I wanted to,
okay.
if she had an opportunity.
Yes, hi. How do you use this? We all have this bank code, as you're saying, and we have our personalities. How do we use it? How do you change in order to accommodate someone? For instance, if you work with someone that has if I am a B and I just want to stay inside the box, and my manager is an A, like just do this, and you're not giving me details, how do I handle that without like strangling?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. So the first thing is just understanding that that's their operating system. They're not doing it to frustrate you. That's just who they are. When you're communicating to your manager, try and do it in bullet points. It's going to land with them a whole lot better. And when they're communicating with you, go ahead and ask the questions. Say, can you give me a quick rundown of, what the next steps are going to be, or whatever it is, because they don't realize that you need that. That's why you want to strangle them, because they don't need that. So remember when we talked about the fact that we communicate to others the way that we like to be communicated to? So that's what your manager is doing. They are, well, hey, I only need the 20,000 foot flyover. So, that's all I'm going to give them. But just learn to request what it is that you want, and keep in mind that when you're talking to them, don't try and give them all the details because they don't care. You're wasting your breath, basically. Does that help, Amina?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. All right, well, I know my time is up and I don't like to take up more time than I have been allotted. This has been a pleasure. I hope that everybody here got something today that you can use and apply in your life. The second link that I put in the chat, that is, you can feel free to just go on there and sign up for a free consultation with me. And I'm happy to talk with you about how you can use this to apply it in your own life and get some better results for yourself.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was like a totally new concept for me. And I loved, I mean, I was jotting down notes and thinking, yeah, this was really enlightening. So I really appreciate it with us. So,
Thank you for having me.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording so we